Imagine waking up in a world where you are the weakest thing alive. No claws, no fur, no fangs. You are surrounded by 6-ton monsters and a cold that can freeze your blood in minutes. For 2 million years, this was our reality. We were the prey. We were the leftovers. But then, something in the human brain clicked. A spark of intelligence that changed the universe forever. We didn't just survive the Ice Age. We conquered it. This is the story of the first men, and the secret reason you are alive today. We used to think we were the only ones. But 300,000 years ago, Earth was a planet of the humans. In the forests of Europe, the Neanderthals, stronger, tougher, and better adapted to the cold, ruled the north. In the islands of Asia, the hobbits, Homo floresiensis, hunted in the shadows. We were just one tribe among many. But a revelation in February 2026 has changed the timeline. New fossils prove that we were interacting, trading, and even fighting with these other species far earlier than we thought. We weren't a family tree. We were a war zone. About 70,000 years ago, something happened that changed everything. A small group of humans left Africa. They crossed deserts. They crossed coastlines. Some followed the sea. Others vanished in the mountains. This was not an army. It was not a civilization. It was maybe a few hundred people. And from them came billions. The turning point wasn't a tool. It was a choice. When the first man reached into a lightning-struck tree and grabbed a flame, he didn't just bring warmth. He brought the sun into the cave. Cooking food allowed our brains to explode in size. But fire did something deeper. It created the circle. For the first time, humans sat face to face in the dark. This is where language was born. This is where the first intelligence was shared. While the saber-toothed cat waited in the shadows, we were inside the cave, planning. There were moments when humanity almost disappeared. Genetic evidence suggests that at one point, our population may have dropped to just a few thousand breeding individuals. A single harsh winter, a failed hunt, a disease. If history shifted slightly, you would not exist. By 40,000 years ago, we were no longer just animals. We became symbols. A man in a cave in France presses his hand against the stone and blows red pigment over it. Why? It's the first "I am here" in history. We invented the needle, allowing us to sew tailored clothing to survive the deep freeze. We invented the atlatl, a spear thrower that gave us the power of a giant. We stopped fighting the world with our muscles and started fighting it with our imagination. This was the moment we stopped running from the mammoths and started tracking them. Then something stranger happened. We began to bury our dead. A body placed carefully in the earth, tools beside it, sometimes red ochre sprinkled over the bones. This was more than survival. This was belief. For the first time, humans imagined a world beyond the one they could see. One by one, our cousins vanished. The Neanderthals disappeared 30,000 years ago. The Denisovans followed. By 12,000 years ago, we were the only humans left on the planet. Why us? Because we could imagine things that didn't exist. We could believe in gods, in tribes, and in the future. You are the result of a 2-million-year win streak. Every heartbeat you have is a victory for the first men who refused to die in the dark. About 50,000 years ago, something scientists call the cognitive revolution began. We started telling stories. Stories about spirits, stories about ancestors, stories about things that never existed. And that was our greatest weapon. Because when you can believe in something imaginary, you can cooperate in massive numbers. But the truth is even more unbelievable. We did not win because we were the strongest. We won because we could share ideas faster than any species before us. A single idea could spread from one tribe to another and transform survival itself. By the time the last mammoths fell, the world no longer belonged to nature alone. It belonged to imagination. And that imagination is still burning.